What's up, everyone? It's been an interesting year in Gielinor, from some good to some not so good. Today, I'm going to be covering my plans for 2025, as well as my opinion on the state of RS3 right now. There's a lot to cover, but first we'll focus on why I've been AWOL from YouTube for the last few months, and the TLDR here is that real life got real busy. I got a significant promotion at work, and some other family matters have made me had to cut back on content creation in the latter half of this year. The way I approached this was to do a bit of an experiment and put all my focus on Twitch and see how things went as a, quote, full-time streamer, with my flag in the sand for locking in the decision if I'd continue that or not being the release of combat achievements. Well, since combat achievements are coming out this month, I think now's a pretty good time to make a decision on what we're doing going forward. And my decision is that YouTube is going to actually be my primary platform going into the new year. There's a multitude of reasons for this, but the main one is the type of content I want to make. The most fun I've had as a content creator so far was making Path of the Titans, and I want to go back to exploring custom rule sets in RS3, and I feel like YouTube and a video format is the best way to do so. On the note of having fun, I think it's time to talk about RS3 and my very mixed views on it this year. I'm going to start with the positives, and I'd be remiss to not mention the monthly content releases and roadmaps that we've gotten this year. While I'm not quite the hype man to yell from the rooftops that we are so back because of these, they are easily the best thing Jagex has done this year. Unfortunately, the competition for that title starts and ends at Group Iron Man mode, which I was absolutely gobsmacked to see. Jagex went and released a new game mode that required a huge development effort and was completely devoid of MTX, unless you count the Premier artifact. Although, now I've gone and mentioned MTX and membership, I think it's time to just jump straight to the elephant of the year, the MTX surveys. And I'm not fool enough to think that it's as simple as them flipping a switch and removing a sizable source of income from the game, but the way the discussion was handled this year was a complete disaster publicly. So this year was certainly a price increase year. Bonds went up early in the year, and honestly, I was surprised that membership didn't go up at the same time. It was due based on their previous track record, but you never look a gift horse in the mouth, right? Then we get this survey. And the public view of what this survey was asking can be summarized as, would you pay increased membership in exchange for less MTX? That's not the only thing, or not necessarily what the survey was asking for, but that's what the public view of the big question being asked was. So, what followed was the worst possible timing of a membership increase. Now, in my opinion, the time between the survey and the increase was too short for them to be related. But the combination of the membership increase not happening at the same time as the bond price increase and happening right after asking customers if they'd be happy to pay more in a survey? Simply put, this was the hero pass of this year. Other than the price increase, there hasn't been a visible impact from that discussion at all this year. We've had constant MTX promotions and seasonal events bringing even more of them. Even though I was playing Iron Man and this stuff doesn't affect Iron Man, which is demonstrably false, but at least I'm not getting key ads every time I log in, I still saw all of it through keeping up with the news posts and updates. And honestly, this is now a ticking time bomb for me. I'm naively hoping to see something at RuneFest that restores my faith, but if throughout 2025 there continues to be no impact from those MTX surveys, I will be moving on from RS3 as a player, and by extension, as a creator. And honestly, this video was almost me saying that it was time to move on. The fact is that other than Sanctum and Group Iron Man, the rest of the updates this year weren't really for me. Not that they were bad updates, I honestly don't know because I didn't engage with most of them, but they just didn't excite me enough to do so. And that can kind of sum up where I'm at with RS3 this year. Frustrated with MTX, and fleetingly excited for the occasional update that's actually for me. Which has kind of got me questioning if RS3 is actually for me anymore. So what I've been focused on during my Christmas downtime is how can I bring back my excitement playing RS3, and detach myself from my mood being tied to whatever dumpster fire is burning this week. Simply put, custom rule sets. To me, RuneScape excels as a sandbox game where I can do stupid stuff like Path of the Titans, and yes, unlocking Necromancy in that series was a giant mistake, but we learn from those. So that's what I'm mainly going to be doing this year. And yes, I am aware, those sandboxy custom rule set stuff is all easier in old school. But I want to at least take a good solid crack at it in RS3 before I completely write it off. For now, I'm still enjoying playing the group Iron Man with the Yappers, and honestly that's mostly because of the Yappers, more so than enjoying Iron Man mode as a whole right now, but that's a completely different story. And I'm going to continue to do so until it's run its course. But once that's done, I'll be full focus on a new YouTube project, which all I'll say for now is it's a Snowflake account that isn't PVM focused, so a bit of a different lens for me to try and enjoy the game in a different way. For now though, I hope you all have a wonderful new year, and I'll catch you again in 2025 for hopefully some really exciting content.